This is Varun Dutt from IIT Mandi, and I'll be telling you about Natural Docs in Large Applications Practicum. Natural Docs is an automatic documentation from code generation tool. This is the second lecture where we are going to look at advanced concepts in Natural Docs. So let's get started. So Natural Docs can also be used with classes with certain scope. So for example, like we had the keyword function, now we can have the keyword class, variable or constructor and the name colon and space and the name of this particular class, variable and constructor, and the same concept applies. So for example, let's consider this as a class which is defined in C++ in a program like BST. And here we have the comment which is Natural Docs style, where we start with the word class, colon, counter, which is the same as the name of the class, and then the definition of the class, a class that manages an incrementing counter. Also within the class, you can see that there is a keyword constructor, because this is the constructor of the class having the same name as the function having the same name as the name of the class. And then we can also have the function keyword with its value in this case, and then the return type, and also for other types of functions. So you can see that Natural Docs can also be used for documenting classes, constructors, and functions within classes. So like the source code itself, Natural Docs topics also have a scope. For example, value and increment are seen as part of the class counter, just like that they are in the code. This is important for linking. So since value is in the same class as increment, its topic can link to it with just an increment. However, linking increment from a different class would require counter.increment. You may also use counter colon increment and counter arrow increment. So the idea is if it's within the same class, then we can refer to as this way for hyperlinking the other function. Whereas if the increment is in a different class, then we will have to write the name of the class dot double colon or arrow before the increment to quantify the hyperlink. So now there are certain more formatting options for Natural Docs. One is bolding, underline, and paragraphs. So you can see that if you do this way, bold text will appear like this, underline text. And because there is a line on the top and this is a new paragraph, and this is also written in this format. So we can also create bullet lists like we have already seen in the prior lecture, dash bullet 1, dash bullet 2, bullet 2 continued, and bullet 3. This need not be tapped. The idea is that so long as there is a dash, this will be taken as a single bullet. And this is actually the next paragraph because there is a line on top. We can also use code in text diagrams. For this, we can either use this symbol as well as, or you can use this type of symbol where we can actually use. So when you use this kind of symbols or this symbol and write the code will appear in a code block. You can also do something like this. You can start with start code and then write your code and end, and again this will appear in the code block. If you have some images or if you have some particular file which you need to hyperlink, you can include images which are file names with the file name in your documentation as well. If you put it alone on a line, it will be embedded in place, or if you put it in a paragraph, it will appear after it using the file name as a caption. So image file names are relative to the source file and the comment appears in. So if your file is located like here and your image is located here, so you will write within the image folder there is a logo.gif. So you will see images logo.gif. And this is an example of this. So this is the first paragraph. logo.gif will appear like this. But if you had it inside a paragraph, then it will see logo, and logo will appear with a caption logo in a separate part after the paragraph. So there are more things you can do in linking. in natural docs. One other thing you can do is that you can hyperlink websites by writing open this less than equal to greater than equal to name of the website or an email address, and you can see that these constructs are appearing in this manner, where you can see website and you can also see the email address, and you can also write the website at or email me at, and that will appear the website or email me. So if you write text before at and then that text gets hyperlinked with the URL or with the email address. So this is all about natural docs in the second part. I have used this resource for creating this lecture. I would like to acknowledge the help of the TAs for helping me create this lecture. So now the activity in this part, and the activity is just to try out what we learned in this class. So you need to actually first create a project called project class, and then you need to have those 3 folders which I taught you in the prior lecture, and then we can put bst.cpp in the src folder, and now we can open it and we can comment the class. We can also generate, and then you can double click natural doc shortcut. It will allow you to create the documentation in the documentation folder, and you can also try other things like linking, scope, by writing increments or something within the less than or greater than symbol, and it can also allow you to get practice on what we have learned. So this is all about the documentation from the code as of now. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.